Thank you very much for that beautiful song and those affirmations. Leslie and Inspire are going to accompany me in my talk today. I feel like music really helps us to ground in awareness, and affirmations with music, a chant if you will, helps us to really embody these teachings, these ideas. And so we're working together, we're teaming up. We love to do this. Right, Leslie?
Woo!
Yes, I do. Also, I want to acknowledge today was Diksha, Golden Orb Diksha Sunday. The third Sunday of each month, those of us that are Diksha blessing givers, come up here and offer Golden Orb Diksha. And so I want to honor you, Sandy. That's why I'm dressed in my white, to do the Golden Orb Diksha. And it's something that we hold very dear to our hearts here at the Satya Center. So thank you. So for the first 2 weeks of this month, we've been exploring the textbook by Dr. Ernest Holmes, The Science of Mind. I like to call it the science of mind and spirit. And the first week, we explored the first chapter called The Thing Itself. And the thing itself is the ineffable. We try and give name to this source, this power, this intelligence, this absolute. But giving it a name just limits it. So we'll just call it it, in a very reverential way, with much respect. So the thing itself. And then the second week, we talked about the way it works. And the way it works is the law. That there's an infinite mind with a big M. And this infinite mind is something that all of us can tune into. And Michael's reading today talked about this infinite creative intelligence finding expression through each one of us. So each one of us have the ability, and we do whether we know it or not, to tune in to this greater mind, this mind of infinite possibilities and potentialities. And this mind is a law. It responds to us. It responds to everyone. It's impersonal and impartial. And it just says yes. So whatever we think in our small mind is then responded to by this law. That's how thoughts become things. That's why we put such an emphasis here on positive thinking. Because what you're thinking about tends to come about. You can't hide from your secret thoughts because it shows up as your life. So if you want to know the quality of your mind, the quality of your thoughts, just have a look at your life. Do you like what you've created? There's no one, this is yes. Sometimes, right, we like some of it, and then other things we're like, oh my gosh, how does this keep happening? How do I keep creating this thing that isn't so comfortable? We seem to stay trapped in patterns of thinking that keep us in patterns of experience. So the wonderful thing is, in this teaching, we learn how to identify those thoughts, those thought patterns that then manifest as our experience. So today is the third. I need to move this over here. Here we go. There we go. So the third part of this 4-part introduction to the science of mind is what it does. So what does it do? What does it do? Knowing that there's one infinite source, one power, one ineffable spirit, and there's a law that's always responding, what does this do for us? This 2-part expression of the divine is simply expressing itself. So it's 3 in 1. In Christianity, they refer to it as the Trinity. In Science of Mind, we say the triune nature, triune, 3 parts: body, mind, and spirit. So we're the body, the physical. Everything in the physical realm is a part of this one God, this one experience, this one nameless thing, this the thing itself. And then there are the laws, the invisible laws that help us navigate and negotiate this reality, this physical realm. And then there's that ineffable spirit, that mystery thing that keeps us here, that keeps us alive, that spark. So we're 3 in 1. We're an invisible spark of life, we're a mind, and we're a body. So we're that which has a body. We're a spiritual being having a human experience. The thing itself, the way it works, and how to use it. No, I got it wrong. Hold on. The thing itself, the way it works, and what it does. How to use it next week. So the book, The Science of Mind, wonderful book, written back in the 20s, edited and published again in the 30s. And we have copies of that back there. The book starts with this dedication. These lessons are dedicated to that truth which frees man from himself and sets him on the pathway of a new experience, which enables him to see through the mist to the eternal and changeless reality. So this book is about helping us to see through the mist. What is the mist? The mist is our conditioning. The mist is all the things that we were taught to believe that may not be true. So we clear through what's maybe not true for us, and we tune in to the changeless reality and truth that we're all here to experience. We're it. It's always happening. It's always happening now, and we can tune into it. But only if we're aware of it. Only if we're aware of it. So many of us get tuned into our ego mind, our little mind, that has a personal agenda. That little mind that sometimes can have its feelings hurt. That little mind that worries about money. That little mind that thinks it's the body and is concerned with how it looks and its health. But there's a greater mind, and there's nothing wrong with that mind. That mind is perfect to help us navigate this earthly realm. But there's a deeper mind that we can tune into that has never been hurt, that is never alone, that can't physically be born or die. It just is. There's an infinite part of us that we tune into. So today, I want to share some ways that we can tune in to this law, to this God, this spirit, and to have a full-on experience of it in the physical body. Sound good? Yeah? You want to have that experience? Okay, good. So Leslie's going to help me with this. But before that, the divine mind is infinite. It contains all knowledge and all wisdom, but before it can reveal its secrets, it must have an outlet. This outlet we are compelled to supply through our own receptive mentalities. So, my mind is an outlet for infinite intelligence to flow. So I want this to be our first affirmation. So I want you to listen and repeat. My mind is an outlet for infinite intelligence to flow. My mind is an outlet for infinite intelligence to flow. Now, can you feel what that does? Does that open you up a bit to move out of your local mind and open it up to a greater mind? Because as smart as we all are, there's something smarter, isn't there? There's something, we don't know all the answers. We don't have all the solutions to our particular questions or situations in life. So we use affirmations to help us get out of our own way. In this chapter, Ernest Holmes, he quotes Emerson, Ralph Waldo Emerson, and Emerson says, we must get our own bloated nothingness out of the way. So we get our own bloated nothingness out of the way, meaning we quiet that part of us that knows all the answers, that always wants to be right, and we just listen. And we open up to we open up to God, to Spirit, to the infinite I am. And we become receptive to receive that divine creative flow, that intelligence that can help guide us and support us on this path. Everything exists in the vast mind of the universe, the infinite realm of possibilities and potentialities. But what we draw from it, we must draw through the channel of our own mind. So this is the key. This is why people love this book and these studies. Because it teaches us, this is a manual for life. It teaches you how to think correctly. How to think, how to engage with the laws of the universe, the fundamental way of things, the natural way of life, reality with a big R. It teaches us to use our minds. That's what I love about these teachings. It's simple, and we can all do it. So let's connect. Let's use our mind right now to connect and unify with the field, with the infinite intelligence. So we do this through mindfulness, through meditation, through paying attention, through reading spiritual materials, for traveling. We do this in many ways. So today we're going to do this through meditation. So the idea of meditation is that you put yourself in a relaxed and easy space so that you can listen, tune in to that infinite mind, tune in to spirit. So please close your eyes and take a breath and relax and open that inner ear so that you can hear that still, small voice within.
I am still in the presence and hear the sweet whisperings of truth. I am still in the presence and hear the sweet whisperings of truth. I am still in the presence and hear the sweet whisperings of truth. I am still in the presence and hear the sweet whisperings of truth. I am still in the presence and hear the sweet whisperings of truth.
Join in.
I am still in the presence and hear the sweet whisperings of truth. I am still in the presence and hear the sweet whisperings of truth. I am still in the presence and hear the sweet whisperings of truth. I am still
open your eyes. So we put ourselves in a space, in a receptive place, because the mind works for us by working through us. But we tune in and become still and hear that sweet whispering of truth. So we can take all of our questions into this space, into this meditative space. Any decision that we have to make, we simply take it into that greater space and move it down from the head and into the heart. And just know that answers reveal themselves in this space. So many times we get into the habit of using our mind to make decisions. We react to life. And when we practice meditation and we listen, we commune with reality, with universal presence. We then respond in a spiritually mature manner. And you go from being reactive to responsive. Can you feel the difference? Mm-hmm. Meditation helps us. So what happens when we meditate? We hear things, we get ideas, we relax, we fall asleep sometimes. Meditation is a wonderful tool. But one of the things that I experience in meditation is that sometimes I'll catch a vision. I'll have an idea, like a divine download. Does that happen for anyone? Yeah? You're still, you're quiet, and then boom, something occurs to you. A door opens that you never thought you didn't even know was there. And you have an idea of something you might like to do. Or somebody that you'd like to engage with. So we can catch visions in this place of being open and receptive to the infinite field of potentialities and possibilities. And so visioning is one of our core concepts here, one of our pillars, one of the practices that our organization is built on. We've been visioning. Our board of directors and our vision team has been visioning this organization, this community into reality, into form for 9 years, probably longer. There's been groups of individuals that have come together to open up, to allow Spirit's idea of what the Satya Center and the Satya Center community is. And in that, being still and opening up, a vision has emerged. And so this is a fundamental part of you becoming a conscious co-creator of your own life. Because if we don't create life consciously, we create a default. We just create a life, but it's not really ours. It's not really the one that our heart is longing to experience. So we cast a vision. We tune in, we get quiet, and we see what's seeking to express itself by means of us. There's our idea of what our life is, but then there's the universe's idea of what our life is. Why are you really here? And when you get super still, when you get super in tune with this mind, this divine intelligence, then that vision has a way to express itself and become known to you. So, we have another beautiful chant from Leslie. So, when we tune into a vision, we get an idea of something. And then we play around with that something in our imagination. And we allow it to take on a life of its own. And then this vision, what happens is a vision comes fully loaded with everything that is required for the full manifestation of that vision, the vision has the instructions. So the more you play around with the vision in your mind, the more those instructions will be revealed to you. One of my teachers, Michael Beckwith, said that pain pushes us in life until our vision pulls us. So we can just go along with our life if we don't have a goal or a purpose or a vision, and we can just be buffeted around by the pain and the crisis and things that happen around us, or we can be very intentional about our lives and establish a vision and allow that to pull us forward. So every thought you think, every word you say, and every action you take must align with your vision. And that way, you're living intentionally. You're practicing conscious living. So Leslie, why don't you share our
Every thought I think, every word I speak, every action I take aligns with my soul's vision. Every thought I think, every word I speak, every action I take aligns with my soul's vision. Every thought I think, every word I speak, every action I take aligns with my soul's vision. Every thought I think, every word I speak, every action I take aligns with my soul's vision. Every thought I think, last one. Every word I speak, every action I take aligns with my soul's vision.
So it's easy. Thank you very much. Wow. It's easy. So you get an idea of what you want. For me, it was the Satya Center. I want to help co-create a spiritual community here. And so all the thoughts I think and all the words I speak and all the actions I take align with that idea. And then, lo and behold, the universe starts to conspire with me for that to happen. Do you see that? And you can look at your own life. What have I held in mind? What vision have I held in mind that then I start to think about it, talk about it, and then take the actions that will produce it, and then voila, it seems to occur. So we work with this universal mind to help manifest what we want. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. You already knew this, right? No, you already knew all this.
You forgot.
You forgot, okay. Well, you came. So what we do here at the Satya Center to bring this all into a full circle here, we meditate, we become open and receptive, we catch a vision, and then we move into treatment. It's prayer, what we call spiritual mind treatment. And this is a very different prayer than the prayer that most of us grew up with. It's not a begging and a beseeching prayer. This is a scientific prayer. It's a 5-step treatment of the mind. We treat our mind and we say particular things to get us to remember who we really are. So we open up our minds, first of all, in this prayer, by recognizing. We recognize there's only one thing happening. This one life, there's only one mind. And then the kids are coming. We recognize, we unify, we realize, we give thanks, and we let it go, we release. And so I want to, Leslie's going to share one more affirmation about prayer here. So,
My life
to prayer, and my heart is awakened to love. So that's the very core of these teachings. The love leads the way, and the law makes the way possible. So we work with love and law. And it says in the sacred scripture that to pray without ceasing. This is a spiritual principle, to pray without ceasing. So our life becomes a prayer. When we are thinking thoughts and speaking words and taking action that aligns with our heart's desire, we are then a living prayer. We're then constantly in that zone of communicating with the universe that's always responding to us in a very authentic way. And you become a fundamental part, an easy part of this movement of co-creation that's always taking place between the physical and the non-physical. And we're interacting through the wonderful use of our mentality, our mind. Am I making sense? Did you feel it?
Yep.
Okay, good. Then let's... So now is our time for our offering. So I invite the ushers to come forward. And this is probably the most sacred thing we do here, is say to ourselves that we've received something, that you've actually received something. An activation in consciousness, an awareness, an awakening. You've received something that's going to make an impact in your daily living. So you'll find in your program the blessing of the offering, and I'd like all of us to say this together. Joyfully I give with gratitude, for I know that as I give, I am given. I allow the abundant nature of the universe to flow through me now. I am so blessed, and so it is. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones that make a brighter day, so let's start giving. It's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, we make a better day, just you and me. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones to make a brighter day, so let's start giving. It's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, we make a better day, just you and me. Everyone stand, make a circle.
Big circle.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I am. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. 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 I am so grateful for all that I have. so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
So let's just close our eyes and know that the hand you're holding is the hand of the divine. That it is right now. This life, this power, this presence is showing up perfectly. It always does. Life is always giving, evolving, changing, becoming, and we're it. It's happening through us now. How blessed are we? I know and accept for each of us that our paths are made clear by our visions. That the universe is always on our side, simply reorganizing itself to become exactly what we need as we move forward in our lives, knowing that every situation, every opportunity is met with the know-how and the confidence that is required, that each of us is supported by our friends and family, that we easily and effortlessly share our gifts, our time and our talent with those around us and help uplift each other, lift each other up, hold each other in love, and become what the world needs now, love. So I thank each of you for contributing to this offering today. I speak a blessing on this offering. Know that it goes out into the world to support programs like this, to support our youth, and to help individuals wake up to their own spiritual brilliance. So I know that something wonderful is happening right now.
Something wonderful